Queen of Hearts. Welcome, welcome. Come in, children. Sit down, please. Yes, I am. I am the Queen of Hearts. And this is my day to be with you. As the Queen of Hearts, I have ruled. The most important thing is the arts. My son, the prince. Here's a picture of him. Isn't he gorgeous, too? Oh. Yes, I did do a good job there. I will say so myself. He came up with an idea. We wanted our subjects throughout the lands to have pictures of us, but we knew they couldn't afford it. So he came up with an idea, and Reginald, King Reginald that is, the King of Hearts, agreed with him that by putting our faces on the playing cards, that all of our subjects could see us every day when they were playing. Pretty smart, eh? By his heart and his head, he came up with the royal idea. Now, all the other kings and queens loved the idea, so now we have 4 kingdoms. The Queen of Hearts kingdom, the Queen of Spades, I know you know her, the Queen of Spades, clubs, pardon me, dear. And then, of course, the Queen of Diamonds. Now, I might want to tell you something about her. It happens. I suggest that you always go for the Queen of Hearts. She'll never hurt your heart. Oh, get it? Queen of Hearts. Anyhow, I'm so grateful to be here with you today. I wanted to take you through a journey of what Miss Valerie has done with you so far this year in art. I must say, she's one of my most royal subjects. She really does love the arts, and it goes through her heart and comes out in beautiful art lessons. So, I look back at what you did last year. You learned about colors, shapes, lines, patterns, textures, exactly, the elements of art. These are the languages which the artist talks to you, my subjects. And back in the day when I was ruling on the earth, sorry to say, most people didn't get to go to school, so they couldn't read and they couldn't write. So when we were trying to explain to them, we used drawings and the arts. Yes. Now, that is why it was so important to have such grand details, because the more details we had, the more information our subjects could learn about their royal family. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm jumping up now up to the new year. I love the idea of going on a time journey. You've gone to cave art, the beginning of art making. Very sacred, very special. Then, right, ancient Greece, the beginning of writing down our ideas and our discoveries. It gave, during my time, a very, very important leap, because that's what the Renaissance was all about, boys and girls. It was a time when there was a great growth in sciences and maths and in philosophies, and of course in feudalism, where I became queen and ruler of the land. We don't have very many of us anymore in your time, but during my time, it was very, very important who you were married to and how many children you had. It's true. Now, back to art. I get so excited. what I'd like to do today is to show you some ideas of the different art projects that you can do with the Renaissance. Please, on the Padlet, please go through all of your choices and then choose one, choose two, choose three. Excuse me, I am not going to accept a coloring, come on guys, with the picture I gave you. That's why I call it free time coloring. If you can do one and share it, but you have to do something else, okay? Please. All right, so now let's see what we have. Of course, you can do a self-portrait in a royal gown. You'll see that the king and the queen have invited you to the evening's court. Now, before I did, thank you, I decided to incorporate this with my final Queen of Hearts. And the emblem, which is here, will then be here for the evening. I drew a horizon line behind so that my background could have some information as well. This is the beginning. I decided on this one I would do it on paper, but of course you can do it on a canvas, you can do it on cardboard, you can do it on a shoebox, you can color it, you can paint it, and you can color it. You can do oil crayons and watercolors, you can mix them, you can do a simple one. Now, here's a fun idea. I found this paper that had these half moons or half circles, semicircles cut out, and I made it into a postage stamp. How fun is that? You could also create your own deck of cards. Why not? Whichever family suits you. Get it? Suits you. 4 suits in a deck. Please. You could make royal banners to hang up, decorate your room, make it look like the royal court is having a feast this evening. You could create an illumination that's, remember, the fancy letters? Can you see the X and the P? If you go on the Padlet, you'll see it's A-R-T. Did you notice? Go back and look again. You can create your own name. You can do just your initials. You can do a drawing. You remember, oh gosh, several months ago, we did the styrofoam printmaking. You can do your initial, and I did very interesting patterns on the inside, scroll work to make it look fancy. The same idea. How about that? If you'd like to do a shield, and here's the printing. I turned this one into a small postcard that I could send away to people. On one of the mono plates, remember with the styrofoam, I drew a knight in shining armor, lots of details. I did it with ink, but you could, if you remember, you can color it with regular old Crayola. Make sure they're water-based crayons or markers, I mean. If you'd like to get more advantageous, here's embossing. Now this is the type of foil that you can get at Joann Fabrics or Michaels. I'll be very careful, the edge is sharp. If you run your finger across it, you're gonna cut yourself. You can also, if you can't get over to Michaels or Joann's, you can make your own by taking aluminum foil from the kitchen and folding it back and forth, and then putting a tape along the edge and rolling pin or push down real hard to make it thick. And then make sure that you use something on the table to make a pad. You can use a piece of cardboard, or I've taken newspapers and made a pad, because we want the foil to stretch, and it's not going to stretch if you're trying to do it on a hard surface. So there's that. If you're interested in making a shield, now this is a plastic one, but can you see how you could do it out of a foiling? Or you can take cardboard, cut a shape, Then take cardboard, cut a shape, and put that shape on top. I would do it this shape here. Then I would cut out the shape of the dragon, put it down. Then I would cut out the shape of the wings and put it down. Cut out the circle, cut out the circle. Get the idea? And then you could you could do metal work back there, or you could do that with just drawing. Totally up to you. Here's a felt one that hangs up on the wall, and it's one of the patterns. Now this is the beginning. This is the under composition. You first have to decide how you're going to break your field up, and your coat of arms. It's your family's symbol, your family's logo, that everyone who sees you coming, you're telling them who you belong to. And gosh, U of M has it, right? Michigan State, you guys in school, I've talked to Miss Valerie about that one. She said, oh, they used to come in wearing red and white, green and white, and then blue and yellow. And oh, whoop-de-doo those days. So, but colors are important, of course, because they do have a language to tell. So, I had circles, and so I this is two different ways that you could do a shield design. Notice it's math magic, all right? These people at this time in the 1100s, 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, they knew about math magic because the Greeks were way back in the 1st century, okay? And so they would know math magic and they would incorporate it because, remember, this is the Genesis. This is the time that all the thinking processes are being elevated again and celebrated and also written down. That's a big deal. But I love this one. I did this with the rubbing. I glued it. It was a piece of paper, and I found this design on a grate, and I laid it down. Right, it's just like the rubbing of the knights. Good for you. Yes, the gold rubbings. But I used a couple different colors of crayons. I don't know if you can see that. But I thought it was lovely, and I glued it down, and then I continued. Oh, I should have done it with here. I'll go over marker so you can see it really quickly. And then I went over it, continued the design with, you see it? So that's another idea. I mean, there's so many things to do, and because I don't see you in class, I can't say everybody do this one thing. So I give you and Miss Valerie ideas to do all the ideas I can think of for you, because that's my job as the Queen of Arts, is to give you ideas and you go where you wish with it. So, my friends, you may do a castle, do a drawing, do a painting. You can make a deck of cards. You can do a shields design. You can do armor. You can do an embossing. You can do printmaking. You can do your name illuminations. You can print make with it. You can make banners to celebrate your room. Give yourself a postage stamp, or make a beautiful self-portrait, a royal portrait, that is. Because you know what? You are special. And every single one of you is so, so important. Each one of you are my subjects. And I love and care about each and every one of you. And I want each of you to love art. You don't have to be good at making art, just that you love it. Love looking at it, love buying it, love making it. It's all about appreciating life and making life more beautiful and special. That's my job. So children, I'm so grateful you came today and I was able to be with you. And by royal decree, would you all like to get up now and join with us in the courtyard? Do you hear it? Yes, they've been playing for me and waiting for me. Ta-ta, children. Yes, it was my pleasure.